to the Mystery Mouse podcast. My name is Holly, and I'm coming to you from Colorado, where I live with my husband and our 5 kids and our many pets. And today is November, Saturday. It's a day in November. It's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and I am finally recording a podcast because I told myself I was not allowed to record a podcast until my sweater was done. So I finished my Beauty and the Beast pullover. You can see it has sleeves. I was just looking at my cuffs. I don't think they're quite the same. But this is a pattern by Megan Reagan in the Knitting with Disney book. And I have made a lot of modifications, and I talk about most of them in previous podcasts. But basically, I made my teapots bigger. And I did not do any shaping in the sleeves. I just did a rapid decrease before the cuff, so you can see they're quite poofy. And I have never made a poofy sleeve sweater before, so that was kind of fun. I also added all these little fleur-de-lis, which is just a little 3-row repeat of 1 stitch and then 3 stitches and then 1 stitch. And I am very happy with how it turned out. I'm going to wear it to church tomorrow. I'm excited about that. It's always nice to have something new to wear. But anyway, I'm so happy to have this done. It's funny because I haven't cleaned out the knitting bag that it was in, and I keep moving it around and feeling like, oh, there's nothing in there. I worked on this sweater for over a year because I started it around my birthday, which is in October, the year before. And I really wanted to finish it by my birthday, but it didn't happen. I did cast on the second sleeve before my birthday, and I think I got to like my elbow, and I realized it wasn't gonna happen, and I don't know, I had a crazy October and November so far. But I can talk about that later. That is, and it's nothing really earth-shattering, it's just I was really busy. But anyway, I'm so glad it's done, and I'm going to enjoy wearing it. It's a fingering weight sweater, but it's surprisingly warm. It's not a hot day or anything, but I'm quite warm wearing this. So hopefully I'll get through the podcast without, sweating or anything. So I have knitting to talk to you about. I don't really have any crochet. I did bring my crochet granny square cardigan, which is in my bag, by Susan of Delightful Works. This was our fancy reading needlecraft club bag. So it's still in there, and I asked last time for suggestions about joining my granny squares because I joined them, with the slip stitch, well, whatever, I don't know, or single crochet on the right side, and you get that little ridge. And even though it's in the same color as the final round of my granny squares, I didn't really like it. Well, I got a great number of suggestions about what to do about that, so I'm going to be checking those out. Someone suggested you join as you go, and they sent me a link to a tutorial, which was very helpful. Someone else suggested doing it on the wrong side with the single crochet and then the ridges on the back. So those are both things I want to try because I don't think this is going to take very long. It's really nice to be able to make granny squares like late at night when you're tired and you don't have time to, or you don't have any brain space to think about pattern and stuff like that, and it gives you that little finish feeling. So anyway, that's still in the works, but thank you for your suggestions. So what am I knitting right now? Well, first, okay, this is an FO, obviously. And I'm so happy about it. I was trying to think if I had any other FOs. So I have these Grady socks. I'll show you one here. So I just washed these today, and I dried them. I washed them in a tub by hand, but then I dried them in the dryer. But you can see how like chunky they are. I think these are 40, what did I say? I said in my last podcast how many stitches this is. It might be 48. Anyway, I just knit a ribbed cuff and a plain foot. I did an afterthought heel. I did everything in the stripy yarn except for the heel. So I just did that in a mini. but I really love how these fit him. They're great, and I think I would really like to make some more because they didn't take that long. I mean, obviously, they're this big, but I am such a slow sock knitter. I was even hesitant to really commit, you know. But I really like these, and I did this in a practice self-striping yarn that I did, and the stripes weren't really fat enough, so, but they're perfect for toddler socks. And anyway, so this is another finished object. Now, what am I working on right now? Okay. Well, so the politically incorrect knitters are running a knit along right now called the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run, which I think it goes through the end of the month. It's either that or it goes till Thanksgiving. Well, I don't know if I'm going to finish my project, but I'm working on it. So I am knitting the Audrey sweater. Is it Audrey Pullover? Anyway, by Knitting McPurley. I'll put a picture up here. And I'm knitting this in my yarn that I dyed for the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run, which is called Pilgrim's Progress. I had this up for pre-order in my shop, and I just put a like a number in for pre-order, and I think there might be a couple left, so I haven't taken that down. So, but if you want to get this yarn, I don't think it's going to be in there much longer. But anyway, all I've done so far is the neckband. It's got this very wide ribbed neckband, and it's supposed to be kind of a boat neck, like a very straight neck. So after you finish the neckband, you just start in on the raglan increasing, and there's no short rows in the back. So I do think I'm going to add some short rows, probably around to here, before, like a little bit beyond the raglan increases. I'll have to look where they are. But in order to just pull down the very front of the neck a little bit, and that's kind of why I haven't worked on this anymore, because I'm gonna have to think. But anyway, I'm really liking how it's turning out. I have not started alternating skeins yet, but I will. And this is knit in worsted, so I dyed up, I don't remember, is it 6 skeins of worsted for this sweater? So I hope it is enough. I think it will be. And I have on here 2 things. I have on here a little fox progress keeper. That is part of my it's part of my autumn story time set, where I have a bag from Delightful Works, self-striping yarn for me, which I can go get and show you because I did knit a sample sock. And it comes with a stitch marker set with this adorable fox. I still have a very few of those left in my shop if you're interested. And I also have some stitch markers here. And I got these from Susan of Delightful Works. She was so sweet, and we did a trade, and she sent me some extras. And I have one over here for the other side. So I just thought those looked really nice with my yarn. But anyway, so I need to figure out the short rows, and then I can continue on this. But it's a perfect like autumn knitting. Like I want the sweater, so I need to get to work on that. And that is all living in this bag by Susan of Delightful Works. This is a Rifle Paper Company print, and I think it's so pretty. It's got like metallic, these flowers are metallic. I just love that. So anyway, it's a nice big chunky bag, which I needed. Then is that all that I have been working on? Well, okay, so now I would like to talk to you about things that I want to knit for people for Christmas. Now, Christmas is like 38 days away or something ridiculous. It's so close. It's scary. But I have some things that I already started, so I'm like, maybe I'll just finish those things. So that's what I'm going to work on. So you may remember this project bag, also by Susan of Delightful Works. This is her kitty bag, and I was knitting a shawl for my daughter Mary, and it's really hard to see because when I stopped working on this because it was at a place where I had to do something new. And so I just stopped. I took the needles off and I put like a hair thing around them and hair. So this is a very shallow crescent shaped shawl. It's from a book by Louisa Harding, I think. And this is knit in some yarn I dyed called Nancy. Was it Nancy? For Nancy Drew, and it's yellow with little hot pink speckly things. And it's really nice yarn. It's a woolen silk base. And one of Mary's favorite colors is yellow, so that's why I decided to do that. And it's just got like a big ruffle, which is not like a ton of stitches. Well, it's not going to be very deep, but it's going to be a lot of stitches because, you know, ruffles are like 3 or 4 times the regular circumference. So I think I'm just a little intimidated about that, but it will be plain knitting, so that will be nice. So I was thinking I could probably finish that for her. And then I have here in this Shark Week bag, guess who it's by? Guess. It's Susan. It's Susan of Delightful Works. This was our bag from Shark Week, which was another knit along the Politically Incorrect Knitters did this year. This is a cute little sock bag. And I have in here Teddy's vest, his blue vest, and it doesn't look like I have very much done, but this is the front and I have already finished the back. So I just have to knit the front and then do the neckband and armholes. So I'm really hoping I can get this done. I'm forcing myself to take this as my most plain project that I'm actually working on. So I'm trying to force myself to take this places where it will be the only knitting I have because I get bored just knitting and then purling, you know. So like we went out to eat last night and I took that and I did like 2 rows. But I'll take it to church tomorrow and it'll be my church knitting. So I wanted, that's why it's in a little bag all by itself, because I didn't want to drag around the whole project. So I'm hoping to get that done for Teddy. If you'll remember, my night sweater that Toby has requested, and I just have to do the picture. As you can see, I have not done any picture. I think I'm going to ask Teddy to help me with the pixel. Like, I'm going to show him the image I want and have him pixel art it for me because he's really good at that. He's my artistic genius. So if I can do that, then it will be much easier to just go ahead and duplicate stitch the picture I want on here. The thing that's going to be challenging about this is I'm going to have to really get creative with my yarn choices because there's probably a bunch of shades of like brown and tan and gray, and if I can get them right, it'll help it to look really nice. Also, I think when you duplicate stitch or when you do color work in general, it's a good idea to elongate the pattern a little bit up and down because it tends to be wider than it is tall, which seems weird to me because the stitches always look taller to me than they are wide, but I think it's like an optical illusion. I don't know. So I'm going to ask Teddy for his help with that. I'm hoping that will spur me on. Then I have, I just started this recently. David, if you were watching, fast forward. So I bought this sock tube from Sun Valley Fibers when I went to the Interweave Yarn Fest in April. And I bought this sock tube for David. It was really long. It's only 60 stitches around though, and it kind of worries me because the socks I knit for David are always 72 stitches. But I did a pair of these for Teddy and it fit just fine. So I think it'll be good. It'll be fine. They're stretchy. But anyway, so I'm just gonna make him some socks by adding the heels, toes, and cuffs. So I added a toe. I love this green, and I added a cuff, and I have a little progress keeper on there that I made. And I don't know about this cuff. It's a little wibbly wobbly, but I mean, it's got to go around his man calf. So I don't know, but I did like the Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off or whatever. I think that's what it's called. Well, I kind of did a variation like that. I didn't do... I think on that one, you're supposed to bind one off and then do a yarn over and bind that off and then bind one off and then do it, I think. So I did kind of like bind 2 off, do a yarn over, bind that off, do 2, but it's still kind of, I don't know, it might be too much, too stretchy. Just wanted to hold his sock up, you know, but I'm a little nervous because I don't usually do toe up. So, but now I got to do a heel, probably, I don't know, around here. I'll look at his other socks. I always just look at the other socks I've knitted for him and find out where the heel starts, and that's where I start the heel. So, but anyway, I'm not going to do the heel until I do the other sock, because then I'll be able to do the heels at the same time. Because I never do the same number of rounds before I do the decreases. I just see how I'm feeling that day. And that's what I do. But anyway, this is in a little bag by Susan of Delightful Works. So autumnal. She might, I think she has more of these, maybe all of these. She's so good at making batches of things anyway in her shop. Now in a non-Susan bag, shocker, this is a little kit I got at Barrett Wool Company, I don't know, a while ago. Not a super long ago, but I am knitting a Good Bear thingy. I got the kit. So I've already knit the little hat, the little green hat. Actually, can't find it, so I might have to knit it again. But I do have the yarn. Where is that? I do have more of the green yarn. So this is plenty of yarn. They're very generous on their yarn amounts. And I have knitted the little cardigan. It's like a little coat. It's so cute. It's got a fold over collar and all these lovely strings. I didn't buy the kit with the buttons because it's just so much more expensive. I will have to find my own buttons. But I finished that. I got halfway done with this and then I stopped, and then I had to come back and figure out where it was, and it was awful. So I'm trying to kind of get through a whole piece because they don't take that long to do. And then I knit the little pullover. So it is so adorable. I can't wait and I decided to knit these first so that as soon as the bear is done, I can put his clothes on. I just think that will be so satisfying. So, but I think I might knit the bear next. This is the color for the bear. I'm sorry, everything is like covered with double pointed needles. This is the color for the bear. And I have no idea how it's showing, but it's like a very dark gray with a little blue, I think. And then I also have, he also has pants in this sort of light gray blue. So those are the two things, and I guess I'm gonna have to re-knit the hat unless I can find it. Fortunately, it's super tiny and it probably will take about 3 minutes to knit. Okay, and then she has this little, she has the safety eyes and floss for embroidering his nose and stuff. So cute. I actually, so I'm knitting this for Grady for Christmas. I think that he will be adorable. And I actually bought the Barrett Wool Company Good Tidings box. It was kind of like, I didn't get an advent calendar from anybody this year, so I got that in the mail just the other day, and it has 3 little kits in it. Well, it has a bunch of yarn, and then it has 3 patterns, and then you get a bonus PDF pattern and some little extras and stuff, and it's really nice. I really, really like it. So I want to knit some of those things during December, but I really want to get this bear done, so I'm trying to push myself to finish this first before I start any of that stuff, because I'm really bad about that kind of stuff. So I have something for each of the kids except for Ivy, so I have to decide what I'm going to do for her. She mentioned some interest in some of the little kits in the Barrett Wool Co box. Also, I have knit her like 1 mitten, so I could knit the other mitten. I have a terrible track record with mittens. It's not good. Or I could knit her like a hat or some other kind of accessory. I need to just do something that's realistic, so I'm still thinking about that. But I figure I'll get these other things done and we'll see. what I decide to do for her. So anyway, that is my gift knitting plans. And I also have cross stitch I want to do for my mom. I haven't worked on that in a while, but I really, really want to get that done. So I don't know. Maybe I'll work on that some tonight before I get too tired. Now I have a little book chat, mostly because I had my birthday in October. And I just wanted to show you some of the stuff I got for my birthday. So I got 2 knitting adjacent books. I got this book, which I showed you before, Viking Knits, which I asked for, by Lasse, I have no idea how you say his name. L. Matchberg, who is known as the Viking anyway. I don't think he's a knitter. I just think he designed these sweaters. But this is a great book. It just has lots and lots of classic sweaters for men, women, and children. And I just think it's a great resource because I have a lot of, well, I mean, I have my husband. I don't want to say I have a lot of men in my life, but my boys are both getting to be men's sized, my older boys. So I just think this will be a great resource for that. And then my husband also got me this book, The Fellowship of the Knits. So this is the unofficial Lord of the Rings knitting book by Tanis Gray. And as soon as I saw the teaser picture for this before it came out, I was so excited. I wanted to get it. So we are big Lord of the Rings fans here. Mostly, let's be honest, the movies. I have, of course, watched the movies, read the books, and listened to them on audiobook. And I love them all. But I think I saw the movies first, so I love the movies. I think they're excellently done. Anyway, I would love to do a flip through with this book with you. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see things, but they have some really, really cute things. They have, I think these are the second breakfast mittens. And I wish I was not a bad mitten knitter. Like, well, not that I'm bad at it, but I'm just a terrible finisher. Look at this dwarf helmet. So cool. They got a happy man with a beard to model it for them. And it's got beautiful color charts and written instructions for everything. And then they show you how hard it is by how many rings it has. Now this, of course, is the showstopper sweater. Ivy wants me to make this for her because she has been in love with Legolas since she was like 8. So this looks very interesting, and I've read the description of how it's done, and I still don't understand it. But I think, I don't know, maybe if I just did it, it would make sense. But it looks so cool. For sure, it would be really interesting to knit. Okay, then there's some shawls with hoods. There's little slip-over thingies. I'm trying to think. There's like a big houndstooth scarf, mitts and hats, lots of mitts. I love mitts. Lots of color work and texture. Look at this beautiful texture. So pretty. I haven't actually looked at this in a long time. Oh, look at these watchful eye mittens, the Eye of Sauron. So cool. They have several things with the Eye of Sauron, or sort of Mount Doom. Oh, like this shawl. You shall not pass, which is kind of funny because I think it's supposed to be the Balrog. Okay, I think, oh, and then they have this cowl with little eyes on it. I just think that's hilarious. It's so funny. More beautiful shawls. Cowls. Oh, there's a sweater. There's a pair of socks. Not idly do the leaves of Lorien fall. So is that on the bottom of the foot? It's like a secret Secret message. I love the leaves though. I have one of those pins that looks like the Fellowship of the Ring pin. I wear it to church sometimes, and it's like, I'm sure nobody knows what this is. Oh yes, the second breakfast mittens, and they also do them on socks too, which is really a good idea. Oh, and then they have little toys. Look at this. It's a little Frodo toy with his tiny little hair. The gray wizard pillow. I think Gandalf is my favorite character in the Lord of the Rings. Ah, so cute. Oh, and they have this little Gollum. So funny. His giant eyes. Anyway, if you were a fan, I would at least check it out because it's a beautiful book. And I'm sure there's something for everybody. You know, there's things for the Hobbit fans and the elf fans and the dwarf fans and the, I don't know, the bad guy fans. There's no knitted, whatchamacallums. What are the bad guys? There's no knitted orcs, but we are probably all thankful for that. They are pretty gross. Oh, so anyway, I am so excited about this. When will I have time to knit these things? I don't know. But I got those for my birthday. David also got me this. David Suchet, Poirot and Me. This is his memoir of being Poirot on TV for, I don't know, 20 years or whatever, maybe longer. So I am so excited about this. I saw this. I was just looking up something about him and I read an article, and he is definitely my favorite Poirot. I mean, in the 80s you had Peter Ustinov do a couple of TV movies of Poirot, and of course I love Peter Ustinov. He's really funny, but he's not Poirot. And now they have this new Poirot, which I don't even know. I haven't watched him, but he's a little too much, I think. I feel like he is the Poirot as Agatha Christie envisioned him, and I think that's what I really appreciate about him. And also, David Suchet is a Christian. He became a Christian in the 80s when he read a Gideon Bible in a hotel room he was staying at. So I don't know if he's going to talk about that in here or not, but I just think that's a really interesting piece of trivia about him. And he also starred or narrated, he did something about some sort of special or something about Paul's missionary journeys. So I don't know if you can find that or not, but anyway, I'm very excited to read this book. And then Mary, my daughter Mary, around the time of my birthday, she had been reading this book. She was like, Mom, I'm going to read the whole Brambley Hedge. And so she read some to me, and then she just went and read the rest of it by herself. So she was feeling very inspired. And for my birthday, she made me this Brambley Hedge by Mary Armstrong. And she's so funny. She wrote the stories. I mean, she didn't just copy them. And she drew all the pictures. And her spelling is hilarious. She's 9. And it's just so cute. So they're very inspired by the story. She has one with a wedding. And they're quite long. I mean, and she wrote really neatly. I was just really proud of her. And then she has one called Babies. And she means more than one baby, but she did apostrophe S. And this one is all about this stressed out mama who has all these babies and they're always crying. And I have to read you the last page. It's so cute. Once again, very long. Then she says, she looked in all the babies' rooms she could finally rest. She sat in her favorite chair and rested her paws, and had a warm cup of acorn hot cream, and read a book with some buns filled with sugared violets. So anyway, that was very, very sweet. And then she has a story that's more like an adventure. Anyway, that was very sweet of her. So I will treasure that always. I have a lot of mice books in this. I should save some of these, but I just wanted to mention these. So I was sent this very cute little book by one of my viewers, Karen, who I've met in real life. Thank you, Karen. This is Tales of Mr. Pengachusa. And he is actually, I think he's supposed to be a hamster. But it's got all these little stories. It's like Mr. Pengachusa, I think, is supposed to be this hamster's dad, and he had all these adventures. So Mary and I are reading this together. So thank you so much, Karen. It's very cute. And then someone else gave Mary this book just last week, I think. It's called A Merry Mouse Book of Months by Priscilla Hillman. And I kind of stole this. I'm not gonna steal it for real, but look at the pictures. Oh, they're so cute. I mean, they're perfectly like Mouse Book of the 80s. I need to see when this was published. Yep, 1980. Dun, da, da. I have a radar for these things. So this just goes through all the months and has a little poem about them. November brings in colder days for winter's almost here. We gather berries, nuts, and corn. It's harvest time of year. Aww. So anyway, it's always nice to have people show you these kind of things because you might be able to find them online, I don't know, in like used books. Oh, one other kind of future knitting plan. This is a present I got for myself with some birthday money. And that is, I want to make out of this book, which I showed a while ago, it's Knitted Wild Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. I want to knit several of these, but mostly the lion. And the animals are knitted with sheepsies, I don't know how you say it, stone washed. So I bought the yarn to make the animals. So I just have some of the yellow, I think it's jasper. I have some of the moonstone, which is like the cream. I have some black, what's this called? I don't remember. Oh, black onyx. They're all named after like jewels. And some of the gray. Some of the gray, which is smoky quartz. And then I just got one of the, I think this is pink quartz, rose quartz. So I just got one of these because the girls like some of the gray ones, like the elephant, I think, or the hippo. And Ivy also likes the tiger, which is this color, and the black. So anyway, so I'm hoping to make those. I don't know if that will happen for Christmas or not, but maybe for birthdays or coming up. But I had to order most of them from Lovecrafts, which of course is in the UK, and that was fine. But they were out of moonstone, so I had to order that from like Lithuania or Latvia, and the shipping was kind of high, but that was okay. One other thing I got for my birthday, which was very sweet, last year on my podcast, I had like a Veterans Day special, and I talked about my grandpap, who was in the 1st Air Commandos in World War II. And I had a hat that was that he used to, I think, probably get at his Air Force reunions. And it was starting to get like worn out. So my husband knows somebody who has a machine embroidery business, like he works with him. And he made me a new hat with his unit logo, and he made me some iron-on patches. So I was so excited about that. I want to get like a jean jacket or something and put this on there amongst probably many other patches, but this is very, very special to me. So that was so sweet of him to do that. My grandpap died in 2016, I think, in October, I think. So it's been 7 years this year, I think. But anyway, I'm just very proud of him. He was the youngest person in his unit, I think. I don't know the difference between like unit and platoon and whatever, but he was the youngest of something. And he was a second lieutenant and was a pilot. But anyway, so, okay, do I have anything else to talk about? I feel like this has been a short episode, but maybe it's just because I haven't been interrupted 8 million times. Oh, so let's do a brief life update. I have not been here in forever, so I'm really sorry about that. I got so busy with my advent calendar. It was mostly my advent calendar. I mean, homeschooling started, our homeschool co-op group started, the kids scouting groups started up again. So it was just like, and then choir started, which I'm the choir director at my church. So it was like all this stuff just kind of the same week almost started. And then it was like getting to be crunch time for my advent calendar, and I had dyed all my yarn. That wasn't a problem. I had already ordered most of my packaging materials and things like that. You know what? It was my sample of my shawl. I was knitting a sample of my shawl with the yarn. And so it was kind of like I had to keep doing A before I could do B, before I could do C. And it just got away from me. And it was just really stressing me out. Like I wanted to get this done. I wanted it to be good. But I could only go so fast because I could only knit so much. I only had so much time. And it was, but I really, really am so excited about my advent calendar. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I just feel like I hope and pray everybody loves their advent calendar, and that's just a great part of their Christmas. So, but then it took me like 3 weeks to pack it up because it was just a lot of little pieces, and you have to be careful that you don't forget things. So you can't kind of just willy-nilly like pack part of it up and then hope that, you know, everything's okay. It's like you kind of have to do it all in one go and double check everything and close it up. And anyway, I know other people have talked about how, you know, advent calendar season is a thing. I know Devin of Knitting McPurley and Gigi, her daughter, have talked about an advent calendar is a lot of work. It really is. And it's just kind of like I don't know. I just really want it to be special. So I'm so happy it's done. They are all out of my house and on their way or at their destinations. And if you bought an advent calendar for me, please let me know what you love and just give me some feedback, because I would just love to hear what you think of it. Let me think. So there are other things going on in my life, but I can never think of them when I'm under pressure. I'm writing a Christmas play for my choir with music, and that's not done yet either. I'm going to be dyeing yarn for Amy of Two Sisters and Some Yarn is running a knit along in January called the Whodunit Mal. I think it's Mal. I mean, because you can crochet or whatever. So I'm dyeing some special yarn for that. So I have dyed a sample, which I feel like I need to tweak. I don't know if I should just be like, how's this? Or if I should try again. Anyway, I'm thinking about that. And I'm also getting ready to dye kits for Cheryl of Wise Owl Knit. She's having a knit along way in the future in March, but I want to have kits available in February, and I want to do some sample knitting and let Cheryl do some sample knitting with the kits. So I need to get those dyed up. That is going to be fun. That is for her Wildflower tee, which is a beautiful color work short sleeved sweater. Perfect for the spring. It's perfect for kind of getting that spring summer knitting going. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I will be having a shop update. I've already dyed yarn for the shop. I just haven't had time to like do anything with it. It's just sitting there. So I actually have some tweed yarn in my shop right now. I wanted it to be for the fall, but obviously the fall is almost over. I think I will go get that. I'll be right back. So I have this fingering weight yarn, which I wanted to have ready for October because I'm calling it Frankenstein. It's just part of my classic books series, but it's probably not showing up very well. It's a very pale green and gray with some rusty orange speckles, which I think is very Frankenstein-y. That's Frankenstein. And then I have this yet to be named turquoise, green, and blue. I need to do a new Redwall collection for Toby. I told him I'd do it in the fall, so we're running out of time. So this probably will be a part of the Redwall collection for this year. And then I have some tweed yarn, and I'm so excited about this yarn. I just think it's beautiful. This is a DK, and it is, these are Brambly Hedge inspired yarn. So I have this very autumnal orangey brown, and of course it's got the tweed flecks in it. And this one is Brambly Hedge inspired. I think this is going to be called like blackberry or something. It's like the perfect blackberry color. And I think these look amazing together. These would be amazing color work, or my hair all over everything. These would be amazing color work or stripes. I just really like these together. So these will be in the shop. And so, like I mentioned before, I have these kits in my shop with the Autumn Storytime kit or set with this adorable bag by Susan of Delightful Works, self-striping yarn by me. You get a 50-gram self-striping skein and then 2 20-gram mini skeins. And then you get this adorable stitch marker set by E.B. and Company on Etsy. She does hand beaded stitch markers. So this is a hand beaded fox sniffing a butterfly, and you also get this little mushroom and 3 little leaves. And I just have a very few of these left in my shop. And I did knit one sock. I knit this sock really fast, which is very unusual for me. It does always help with the self-striping yarn, it does make a difference. So this is what it looks like. I did green on the cuff and the toe, and I did the red on the heel. There's something about a red heel, I just think it's so cute. So anyway, and then you have plenty of yarn left. I don't think I even used close to half of it to make the second sock. I think if you're careful with your, like how long you do the leg and stuff, you could probably get a pair of adult socks and either a pair of very short shorties or maybe some little kids socks or baby socks, even with 50 grams. It's quite enough. So anyway, so cute. I will be putting those things in the shop soon, very soon. And then I will be having a big sale in my shop on Black Friday. I think it'll just go Black Friday through Cyber Monday, those few days. So if you are interested in picking something up, please come visit me at Mystery Mouse Yarn Company on Etsy. I think it's just Yarn Co. on Etsy. I ran out of letters. But I think that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It feels so good to be getting this podcast filmed and up, and it feels so good to get the sweater done. And it's kind of like after getting my advent calendar out, it's just like I'm playing catch up in my whole life. So like I have all these things I want to do. I want to dye yarn. I want to go clean my room. As you can imagine, my room is a disaster. So Christmas is coming, everybody. So let's look forward to that and try not to be stressed out, right? That's the goal. Anyway, oh, I don't know if you noticed, I have this giant rose. It's just for Beauty and the Beast vibes. And I asked for that a long time ago because I love having giant things that make me feel like a little mouse. So anyway, I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I hopefully will not be waiting 6 weeks to record again. Hopefully it'll just be a couple weeks, but I'll see you soon.